everybody, and welcome to Kindwyn's Coastal Reads. And today I'm going to be reading to you a story from the Celtic Fairy Tales as collected by Joseph Jacobs. And the story I'm reading today is called The Farmer of Liddesdale. Okay. There was in Liddesdale, in Morven, a farmer who suffered great loss within the space of 1 year. In the first place, his wife and children died, and shortly after their death, the ploughman left him. The hiring markets were then over, and there was no way of getting another ploughman in place of the one that left. When spring came, his neighbors began ploughing, but he had not a man to hold the plough, and he knew not what he should do. The time was passing, and he was therefore losing patience. At last he said to himself in a fit of passion that he would engage the first man that came his way, whoever he should be. Shortly after that, a man came to the house. The farmer met him at the door and asked him whether was he going or what he was seeking. He answered that he was a ploughman and that he wanted an engagement. "I want a ploughman, and if we agree about the wages, I will engage thee. What dost thou think asked from this day to the day when the crop will be gathered in?" "Only as much of the corn when it shall be dry as I can carry with me in 101 burden width. Thou shalt get that," said the farmer, and they agreed. Next morning the farmer went out with the ploughman and showed him the fields which he had to plough. Before they returned, the ploughman went to the wood, and having cut 3 stakes, came back with them and placed one of them at the head of each one of the fields. After he had done that, he said to the farmer, "I will do the work now alone, and the ploughing need no longer give thee anxiety." Having said this, he went home and remained idle all that day. The next day came, but he remained idle as on the day before. After he had spent a good while in that manner, the farmer said to him that it was time for him to begin work now, because the spring was passing away, and the neighbors had half their work finished. He replied, "Oh, our land is not ready yet. How dost thou think that? Oh, I know it is by the stakes." If the delay of the ploughman made the farmer wonder, this answer made him wonder more. He resolved that he would keep his eye on him and see what he was doing. The farmer rose early next morning, and saw the ploughman going to the first field. When he reached the field, he pulled the stake at its end out of the ground and put it in his nose. He shook his head and put the stake back in the ground. He then left the first field and went to the rest. He tried the stake, shook his head, and returned home. In the dusk he went out the second time to the fields, tried the stakes, shook his head, and after putting them in the ground, went home. Next morning he went out to the fields a third time. When he reached the first stake, he pulled it out of the ground and put it into his nose, as he did on the foregoing days. But no sooner had he done that than he threw the stake from him and stretched away for the houses with all his might. He got the horses, the withes, and the ploughs, and when he reached the end of the first field with them, he thrust the plough into the ground and cried, "My horses and my leather traces and meddlesome lads, the earth is coming up." He then began ploughing, kept at it all day at a terrible rate, and before the sun went down that night, there was not a palm tree breadth of the 3 fields which he had not ploughed, sowed, or harrowed. When the farmer saw this, he was exceedingly well pleased, for he had his work finished as soon as his neighbors. The ploughman was quick and ready to do everything that he was told, and so he and the farmer agreed well until the harvest came. But on a certain day, when the reaping was over, the farmer said to him that he thought the corn was dry enough for putting in. The ploughman tried a sheaf or 2 and answered that it was not dry yet. But shortly after that day he said that it was now ready. "If it is," said the farmer, "we better begin putting it in." We will not until I get my share out of it first," said the ploughman. He then went off to the wood, and in a short time returned, having in his hand a withe scraped and twisted. He stretched the wreath on the field and began to put the corn in it. He continued putting sheaf after sheaf in the wreath until he had taken almost all sheaves that were on the field. The farmer asked of him what he meant. "Thou didst promise me as wages as much corn as I could carry with me in 1 burden wreath, and here I have it now," said the ploughman as he was shutting the wreath. The farmer saw that he would be ruined by the ploughman, and therefore said, "'Twas in the mart I sowed, 'twas in the mart I baked, 'twas in the mart I harrowed. Thou who hast ordained the 3 marts, let not my share go in 1 burden wreath." Instantly the wreath broke, and it made a loud report, which echo answered from every rock far and near. Then the cord spread over the field, and the ploughman went away in a white mist in the skies, and was seen no more. The end. And that is the story of the Farmer of Liddesdale. And I hope you enjoyed the story, and if you like the story, you can click the like and subscribe button, and I will try to be back tomorrow with another fairy tale for you all. Thanks for watching, and have a great night, everyone. Bye!